Hi everyone, my name is Anthony Wallace. I'm the founder of 92 Dream e-commerce conversion optimization and design agency. Today I want to talk to you guys about how to use your customer's voice to boost your e-commerce conversions right now. Here's the scenario. You've been optimizing your website and you realize that you have a messaging problem. So a messaging problem can come from not really giving your customers a way to understand who you are right away within 3 seconds before bouncing off and going over to your competitor. Here's an example of a homepage that I feel that has very little information about what the product is, why this brand is better than the competition, and instead they have a lot of fluff and generic marketing, right? There's not even any sort of direction on where I should be going next. What I like to do is use simple and easy to read messaging, and this is a process that I go through when I need to put together a simple value proposition that comes straight from your customer's mouth. So what is a value proposition? A value proposition is a promise of value to be delivered. It's the primary reason a prospect should buy from you. So let's look at what and dissect what a value proposition entails. So we start here with the headline, and then we have some supporting text that supports that headline. We have this call to action button. And then below that call to action button, I like to include what's called micro conversions. Micro conversions are small little indicators that helps with the trust factor of the website when customers get here and understand exactly what they're going to get when they buy a product from your brand. So here's my quick and easy way to use voice of customer research on your website. Let's get right into it. Real user reviews. They're an absolute gold mine for data on what your customers love most about your brand. These are 5 reviews that I'm going to use for our example here. Normally, you want to get around 250 to 500 reviews and go through all of those, comb through all of those reviews one by one. And I like to use Google Sheets to compile all of my reviews. You can use Excel, but some sort of data management tool where you can compile all of these reviews into one place and start to do some data mining. So if you're a new brand, you can compile reviews directly from your competitors. You don't have to have reviews directly from your website. If you do have reviews on your website, it's really easy just to export those reviews from your review app and then add them to your Google Sheet. The point is to find overall patterns from each review and add each pattern as a new column within this Excel sheet. For each review, you want to add a 1 for each pattern that it matches. So if you notice here, I have this long review here. Somebody was really excited about the review. And from that review, it matched a bunch of the patterns that we have here. So normally what I like to do is go through all the reviews and I'll take notes of all of the patterns. You might come up with, if you have around 200 to 250 reviews, you might come up with around like 20 to 30 patterns, right? Of those 20 to 30 patterns, you want to find like 8 to 10 patterns that comes up the most. And then add those as columns right next to the reviews so that you can start to tally up the pattern matches. At the end of your Excel sheet, you can start to compile all of your reviews and then get the aggregate total of all the pattern matches. So for each review, I add a 1 for the pattern that it matches, and then at the end of that review, we tally up all the total patterns and see exactly which patterns comes up the most. This is a great way to really hone in on the patterns that your customers are most your patterns, the patterns that your customers are most excited about, right? The ones that your customers are talking about the most, and that matches the messaging that you should be adding to your website. So this is a great way to understand those patterns. And you can use these patterns all across your messaging, not only on your website, but in your advertising and emails as well. What I like to do as well is from all of those reviews that you will come up with, I like to take notes on the ones that comes out that pops out the most, the ones that are the most intriguing, the ones that really like the phrase. It really it stood out to me as like a really good phrase. So I'll take those phrases, I'll take those reviews, and I'll add them here to my notes. And this really helps me to come up with the headlines. This really helps me to understand really what our customers are really most excited about, right? So in reviews, for the most part, people are loving your product. So you want to use those really great phrases that they're saying, right? Pull out the most interesting parts to craft your message. And here is an example of a call to action, of a value proposition that I put together with just the 5 reviews that I took here. So this is just 5. It's not 50. It's not 250. Just 5 reviews. And I was able to come up with this value proposition. Finally, a travel bag that's as functional as it is beautiful. With so many compartments, features, and overall quality, there's a reason why someone will call it a work of beauty. Grab your bag. Then you have your micro conversions, detachable pouch, beautifully crafted interior, open flat design. So these things came up the most in our research. And then also, if you remember, a work of beauty came up in one of those came up directly from the voice of the customer. So this is how you do voice of customer research. It's something that's really big within e-commerce, within any sort of website that you're using. It's great to use voice of customer. Another way that you can do this is actually talking to your customers and looking through your live transcripts that's on your website when your customer services team is talking to your customers. Is also really good to understand what those customers are saying, why they're so excited, what's the problems that they're going through. All these things help you craft a great message so that it resonates with your customer as soon as they hit your website. If you have any questions, you can always reach out to me at anthony@92dream.com, or you can reach out to me at LinkedIn at Anthony-Wallace-92dream.